Think about how enterprise software has worked for the last 30 years. We built systems to store things, then interfaces to see things, then dashboards to understand things. The path from data to action just got a lot shorter. Agents are the new interface, and agents don't need a dashboard. They need to understand your business, your vocabulary, your rules, well enough to act on your behalf. We're not moving from app to app anymore. We're moving from systems of record to systems of agency. And the question every enterprise has to answer is, are you ready for that? My name is Julie Cosmano.
And I'm Prithvi Khosla. We're from the Dataverse team, and we believe your enterprise is ready for this shift.
Our vision, AI that meets you where you are. One platform, every role, from the frontline worker who uses AI to the IT team that governs it at scale. Here's how we've organized this session around the three personas that Dataverse empowers. First, the business user, how Microsoft 365 Copilot brings your business data to where you already work. Then, the maker, building agents in Copilot Studio with business skills. And finally, the Prodeveloper, using the Dataverse plugin encoding agents to activate what we call intent-driven development. We'll cover the IT admin persona another time. Today, it's all about these three, all powered by Dataverse. Let's start with the business user, the person who says, I use AI. They're not building agents, they're using them, and they expect AI to just work right where they are, inside their business apps and in the office apps they use every day. Let's take a simple scenario. A business user probably has a question like this. There's new guidance about vendor selection. For overdue issues, please suggest which vendor to assign to. While this looks simple, under the hood, it requires connecting productivity data and real-time business data. So what does this look like? Two services. Copilot right inside your model-driven app, a side chat where you ask questions about the data you've already looking at. This is GA today. The same Dataverse data, now accessible from Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, Word, Excel, and more. Same business data wherever you work. Here's what's happening under the hood. Your model-driven app connects to Microsoft 365 Copilot through WorkIQ, the intelligence layer that combines your productivity signals with your business data in Dataverse. Let's see this in action. As a site coordinator at Zava Construction, I want to learn more about one of my customers, Fabricam, their projects, and my open issues. By simply asking Copilot, I get the answers right here without hunting through records. Behind the scenes, WorkIQ leverages Dataverse agentic search to reason over your business data, not just keywords. Now, I noticed this issue has no vendor assigned. So let me dig in a bit further. I'll ask Copilot to pull the latest monthly status report and summarize the vendor guidance. You can see it fetches the document quickly and gives me exactly what I need, all in one place. This is WorkIQ in action. I can ask questions about two types of data: business data like projects and issues stored in Dataverse, and productivity data like the status reports and documents my team works every day in Microsoft 365. Now, let's bring in my agent Zavi to assign a vendor to this plumbing pressure issue. My custom agent Zavi has access to both WorkIQ and a business skill stored in Dataverse. Zavi knows the workflows for assigning a vendor, including creating project notes and sending an email to colleague just as I asked. And I can review Zavi's beautiful work in the app as well. So in just a few minutes, we serviced a customer issue, pulled insights from a status report, and let Zavi handle the vendor assignment end-to-end, all without leaving the app. Now, let's flip the perspective. That was Copilot inside the business app. But what if you're already working in Word, reviewing status report, and you need the same business data? Here, I've got the status report open on the left, and it's flagging an issue with the Fabricam Tower project. I need to get up to speed fast, so I'm going to ask Copilot right here on the right. And here's where WorkIQ changes the game. This is regular Copilot, no custom agent, and Dataverse data is already natively available. Copilot pulled live data straight from Dataverse through WorkIQ. Real time, no setup required. But notice something important. It didn't just search for the words Fabricam Tower. It understood this is an active project record in Dataverse with associated issues, vendors, and timelines. That's business ontology. WorkIQ understands your business structure, not just text on a page. In the same Copilot pane, I'm going to bring in Zavi again. And just like that, vendor assigned and an email to Adele is sent. In my sent folder, Zavi sent this on behalf with the Fabricam issue and the newly assigned vendor. Now, I'll use Copilot to reflect the latest updates we just made. What we should see here is this paragraph getting updated with the new vendor. Copilot should know exactly what needs to change. There it is. It found the right section and is suggesting the edits directly in the document. A stale report became a live workflow. Copilot reasoned over real business data, and agent took action, and the document updated itself. That's WorkIQ, your business knowledge activated. Let's go over the demo that you saw. It's essentially analyzing project issues and assigning the appropriate vendor for critical issues. In this new world of WorkIQ with Dataverse, business understanding and business skills becomes easier. And user can start with Microsoft 365 Copilot within their app, and they can invoke the specialized agent easily. The bottom line, with Dataverse, Microsoft 365 Copilot doesn't just know your emails and documents, it knows your business. Remember what you just saw. Copilot understood Fabricam as a business entity, not a search term. That's agentic search powered by Dataverse, automatic indexing across your business tables, reasoning over your business semantics, not just words. All governed with role-based access control and multi-environment support. It's GA today in model-driven apps with broader Microsoft 365 Copilot surface areas coming in public preview in June. You saw Zavi in action, handling vendor assignment, sending emails, all inside Copilot. But someone has to build that agent. And the good news, it's easier than you think. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Prithvi, who's going to show you just how easily a maker can build that exact agent in Copilot Studio, no code required.
Thanks, Julie. What you just saw wasn't hard-coded logic. Zavi used something we call business skills, and everything it knew about vendor assignment came from Dataverse. Let me show you how that works. If you're a maker, someone who builds agents in Copilot Studio, here's what's new for you. The promise is simple. Enterprise-ready agents, idea to production, no code required. What's changed is what those agents can access. You now have the Dataverse MCP server, a live connection to your business data. You have the WorkIQ MCP servers for organizational intelligence. And then you have business skills, which I'll explain in a moment. And you have Dataverse search configuration to control what your agents can find. All of this is available today for your agents. So what is a business skill? It's a playbook that teaches agents how your organization actually works, written in plain language, stored in Dataverse. All your business processes and workflows can live here. A skill has three parts: a name and description that tells agents when to use it, step-by-step instructions that tell them how, and resource files, all your policy documents, SOPs, templates, anything the process needs. The power is in the sharing. You define your vendor assignment process once, and every agent in your organization can follow it. Zavi in Copilot Studio, a custom agent, or even a coding agent. One source of truth, RBAC protected, authored right in the Maker portal. Here's the bigger picture. A business skill lives in Dataverse, making it configurable, reusable, and adaptable to your needs. Your agents then connect to the Dataverse MCP server and the WorkIQ MCP servers as their tools. That's how they read data, write records, search across all of your environment. And here's what makes this flexible. You can build your agents in Copilot Studio for a no-code experience, or use coding agents for a ProDev workflow. Either way, you publish to M365 Copilot or Teams, wherever your users already are. Let's make this a little concrete. Our persona here is an agent developer, someone who knows Copilot Studio. Let's take a look at what happens behind the scenes in Zavi, the agent that Julie showed earlier. Here's the assign vendor to project issue business skill open in the Maker portal. Look at the instructions. They're written in plain language, not code. Step 1, find unassigned issues. Step 2, detect the specialty type, plumbing, electrical, or HVAC, by reading the issue description. In step 3, find the best vendor by filtering on that specialty and picking the highest rating. Then, step 4, assign. And step 5, document it with a project note, and then send an email report, and lastly, report results to the user. Any agent that loads this skill notes the complete vendor assignment process for your organization. You write it once, you version it in Dataverse, and every agent follows that exact same playbook. Now, here's Zavi in Copilot Studio. Notice how simple this is. The instructions are minimal. They tell Zavi its role and responsibility, but they don't contain the vendor assignment logic. That knowledge comes from the business skill we just saw. What matters are these two connections. Zavi is wired to the two MCP servers, Dataverse. That's how it reads all your business skills and all your business data, like issues, vendors, projects, and writes assignments. And the Outlook MCP server, which actually lets it send emails on behalf of the user. That's the entire agent configuration. No custom code, no complex orchestration. The intelligence actually comes from the skills, the data through MCP, and the agent just follows the process. Let's test it out. I'll ask Zavi, assign the right vendor to a plumbing issue, and send a confirmation to Adele Vance. Zavi initializes the connections. Watch the two key moments. First, discovery. Zavi calls search on the Dataverse MCP server and finds a skill that matches. Then it calls describe to actually load the full instructions of the skill. Zavi didn't know this process existed 30 seconds ago. It actually found it at runtime. And second is execution. Zavi follows the skill step by step, finds the unassigned issue, reads plumbing from the description, queries the vendor table for plumbing specialties, picks the highest rated one, and then writes that assignment back. It also creates a project note and sends an email to Adele. Now, let's quickly ensure that the vendor has been assigned. We can see that in the Fabricam plumbing issue, it now has a vendor assigned. The agent also automatically creates the project note without being asked. None of that vendor logic was in Zavi's instructions. This allows for true scale for enterprises. Progressive discovery of skills enables agents to complete complex tasks accurately. What you just saw with Zavi raises an important question. What happens when the vendor assignment process changes? Say you add a fourth specialty like roofing. Do you update every single agent that you've built until now? No. And that's the architecture behind this. Your process actually lives separate from your agents. Copilot Studio, GitHub Copilot, Claude Code, or any other custom agents, they're all different surfaces, but they all pull from the same skill catalog in Dataverse. Update the skill once, and every agent follows the new process immediately. No redeployment, no version drift. Dataverse is the grounded layer. Real tables, real security roles, real solutions. The agents come and go, but the business logic always stays. Setting this up takes 3 simple steps. First, turn on Dataverse Intelligence from the Power Platform Admin Center. Second, enable the Dataverse MCP server. You control exactly which clients can connect. And third, actually go and create your skills from the Maker portal, or from a coding agent, or from Copilot Studio itself. The MCP server follows all of the standards, so it works with any compliant client, and it respects all your existing Dataverse security roles. An agent can never access data that the user behind it does not have permission to see.
I love how the business skill kept the vendor logic out of the agent and in Dataverse where it belongs. But here's my question. What about pro developers? Let's say I'm a pro dev writing code with AI. Can I build my entire Dataverse system this way?
Absolutely. And it's actually the same idea for developers too. We give their coding agents the same kind of knowledge, just through a different interface. If you're a developer who codes with AI, using GitHub Copilot CLI or Claude Code as your pair programmer, here's what's new. Dataverse is now your data platform with first-class support in both of these coding agents, an open source plugin that teaches them how to build and manage Dataverse. For the maker world, we had business skills in Dataverse. For the developer world, the equivalent is a plugin, a distributable package of skills, scripts, and configurations that you install with one command. The concept is the same: package domain expertise so every developer's agent benefits from it. A Dataverse plugin, a Kubernetes plugin, or anything else. Browse a marketplace, install, and your agent gains capabilities and domain expertise it didn't have. We now have the Dataverse plugin for coding agents. It's open source and gives coding agents deep practical knowledge of how to build Dataverse solutions end to end. The skills give the agents knowledge about how to use Dataverse. You describe your intent in natural language, and the agent determines which skills to load, in what order, using which tools. The plugin guides agents on how to connect for environment setup, build your data model, and operate with your data. Now let's see this in action. Here's the prompt I'm going to use. I'm going to build the entire Java construction recruiting system from scratch in just one prompt: tables, relationships, sample data, and an analytical query. Let's watch. Here's the prompt: 5 tables with lookups, a many-to-many, and a self-referential interview chain, one Dataverse environment URL, and that's the only human input. From here, the plugin drives absolutely everything. Immediately, the plugin's overview skill fires. It checks for environments and auth, and when neither exist, it automatically loads the connect skill. This is the first thing only the plugin knows to do: what files to check, what their absence means, and what skills to load next. Now, the connect skill runs its checklist: Python, Git, PackCLI, .NET, and Dataverse CLI. It installs the official Dataverse Python SDK, creates the project directories, and copies the plugin's own authentication into the workspace. But why does this matter? Because without the plugin, the agent would write its own auth code, probably pick the wrong SDK package, and almost certainly use JavaScript. The plugin routes it to exactly the right toolchain to use with Dataverse. Authentication is now completed, and the agent handles a tenant mismatch along the way as well. Then it loads the remaining skills: solution, metadata, and data. 6 skills total, each covering a different phase of Dataverse development. The agent then creates a plan of execution and runs a critique loop to ensure it can build accurately in just one go. Now watch what the plugin enables. The agent actually writes a single Python script, and behind the scenes, the metadata skill taught the agent which SDK classes to use for those relationships, and that's why this works in the first run instead of going through a continuous loop of errors. 5 tables, 6 lookups, 1 many-to-many, all in one script. Then it verifies the table structure and proceeds to create sample data using Python as well. Watch the outputs. Positions, candidates, and interviews actually get created first because they don't reference each other. Then interviews, which need lookup to those 3 tables. And finally, feedback, which needs lookups to interviews. That ordering comes from the data skill. The agent also creates sample data that reflects progression of candidates throughout the system. This allows you to easily understand the entire setup. And here's the payoff. With just one single prompt, my entire data system is set up for HR. What used to take days of planning and execution now just takes minutes. From an empty environment to a working recruiting system, the agent brought the reasoning, the plugin brought the Dataverse environment. Here's the full picture. The Dataverse plugin works on top of 4 foundational tools: the Dataverse CLI, Python SDK, Dataverse MCP server, and Pack CLI. The plugin ships 6 skills on top of these tools: Overview for routing, Connect for setup, Metadata for schema, Data for writes, Query for reads, and Solution for lifecycle management. It also includes scripts for authentication and MCP configuration, plus project templates. This gives agents everything they need to build your agentic systems with just natural language intent, and it works identically in Claude Code and GitHub Copilot CLI. Getting started takes one simple command. For Claude Code, add the plugin to your marketplace and then just install. For GitHub Copilot, add it to your Copilot plugin marketplace and install, or just grab it directly from Awesome Copilot. Either way, your coding agents now know Dataverse. Makers author business skills for your process information in the portal and build agents. Developers install the plugin and describe their intent from the command line, both grounded in Dataverse. Same data, same security, same MCP protocol. Now, Julie, bring us home.
All right. Let's take a step back and appreciate what you've just seen. We started with you, the business user, asking questions in natural language, getting answers from your own data through Microsoft 365 Copilot and WorkIQ. Then we showed how a maker can build agents in Copilot Studio and create business skills, pure domain expertise made reusable. And just now, you saw how a ProDev can wire up coding agents to Dataverse with MCP servers and the Python SDK and so on. 3 personas, 3 experiences, 1 platform underneath it all, Dataverse as your agent data platform. AI that meets you where you are, that's what Dataverse makes real. Now, let's talk about when you can get all of this. We're excited to share you can try most of this now, and stay tuned for more updates throughout the year as well. Please visit our resource link for documents, samples, and community tools. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
And we cannot wait to see what you build.